Game away from a second straight sweep at the hands of the Denver Nuggets, who, Shaq, over the last 2 years, they've got 36 wins now when they were down double digits. What allows them to be comfortable in that situation and not panic?
Winning is a lifestyle for us. These are the words of Nikola Jokic on his team's championship edge. With an incredible lineup and size advantage, the Nuggets are becoming a tough cookie in the tournaments. What makes the Denver Nuggets a legit championship squad is their size advantage. Just look at them. They are huge. You can see in the game against the Warriors that even though the Warriors have good speed and skills, they can't stand up against the Nuggets because of their size advantage. This resulted in a clash of styles when they ran into those big men in the front court, Michael Porter Jr., Gordon and Nikola Jokic. It made for an interesting clash of styles. Denver's size advantage was immediately apparent. Jokic hits Murray on a cut, and Aaron Gordon easily finishes at the rim with a simple additional pass. However, Golden State's speed advantage was equally obvious as Denver's, as Kuminga outmuscled everyone on the floor to grab a free pair of baskets. Not only does Draymond's ability to overplay the paint as a helper hurt Jokic's ability to attack in space, but he can also keep Aaron Gordon off the glass, securing a second chance opportunity and drawing a foul because no one else can stop Draymond from keeping up in space. The former Defensive Player of the Year is giving up about 50 pounds and 6 inches of space when Jokic gets the ball. Therefore, Jokic cannot be stopped, even though the referees allowed him to get away with some unlawful contact. The Warriors immediately return, but you'll note that with Draymond at the 5, Jokic is positioned at the top of the key, and the other 4 are all shooters. This means that when Porter Jr. gets trapped behind a screen, Wiggins has an easy cut and finish. Here's one more instance where Steph hits Wiggins, who now has a 2-on-1 advantage over Brandon Podziemski after he flies off a screen and draws true to the ball. However, they have one open layup. The Nuggets are fortunate to get one break, but they won't get another. Jokic is shifted onto Wiggins, who isn't exactly a perfect matchup, so he can easily get to the paint and hit Brandon Podziemski with a different move, once again for 2 points. However, those matchup problems are reciprocal because Jokic is pushing Draymond in the post while all of this is going on. Despite his excellent defensive play, Draymond lacks the size to challenge a fadeaway jumper. Clay will therefore dig from above the next time he sets up with his back to the basket rather than going one-on-one with Draymond. Michael Porter Jr. just has to walk away while he drills a 3. Here it is once more. After about 7 minutes of this back and forth, the Warriors found themselves ahead 22-17, and this is when Kevon Looney would enter the game. Jokic starts on that elbow, but this time to set up a handoff with Porter, who's going to dive into a floater once again. That size difference leads to an offensive rebound and an easy putback. Since Looney is larger than Draymond, Jokic finds it more difficult to go over the top when trying to go one-on-one with him. Instead, he attempts to outwit him by attacking from a slightly farther distance and completely dominating him with a spin move as he makes his layup. Additionally, he returned to playing out of space. Looney will undoubtedly have trouble getting around a down screen, leaving Jokic plenty of space to shoot 3 points this time. Brown Scott draws a tag from Wiggins on the weak side, setting up a perfectly timed skid pass that falls into Peyton Watson's hands for 3 more. Unfortunately for them, Klay Thompson was in one of those situations. It began with him drawing a hard closeout and Sid strolling into a wide-open 3. Denver's offense was clicking early on. This quarter, he was mainly shown soaring around screens all over the court for the most part. This time he's sliding a pin to his left in order to make room for another jumper from above. Here is an extremely similar play, but instead of sliding to his right, he rejects the screens and cuts inside the arc before rising for a mid-range bucket. There is not a single shot that he wouldn't label a decent look as soon as KCP opted to overplay the 3 and take away his space. The Warriors stormed out to a 6-point lead as Klay made 5 of 7, including 4 of 6 from 3 for 16 points in the opening quarter. Jokic obviously needed some rest after playing the entire first, and what's remarkable about Denver's bench unit is that they'll throw a tiny ball in their unique way. The Warriors reserved the script and used a double launch unit with Dario Saric and Trayce Jackson-Davis, starting either Aaron Gordon or Zeke Nnaji at the 5 and switching every action. Klay continues to shoot 3s, but he now has 2 centers to cover on the offensive glass. If he misses and the defense is positioned incorrectly, they get an easy layup. Because of the persistent mismatch, the Warriors were able to apply a great deal of pressure to the paint. Star player Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets has achieved remarkable status in the city after winning a championship. Is he already among the top 20 players in the game's history? At only 28, he remains one of the greatest players of all time. Nuggets general manager Kelvin Booth adds, "There is so much more to go. Each player within the Hall of Fame's inner circle is unique." They triumph and endure in the face of obstacles that generally plague everyone else, such as policies, plans, and the increasing pressure that accompanies a deep playoff run. Now, among them is Nikola Jokic, a once-in-a-lifetime basketball wonder whose offensive skill set has left some of the smartest coaches absolutely perplexed. Following his 5-game winning streak against the Miami Heat, Jokic became just the 13th player in NBA history to win both a regular season MVP award and a title. Only 11 players have accomplished all of these things and also won MVP of the finals. These days, his achievements are the stuff of legends. His skill, strength, and cunning are visually resistant to clear classification. Take the best parts of Shaquille O'Neal, Tim Duncan, Magic Johnson, Dirk Nowitzki, Larry Bird, and Tim Duncan, and you have a pretty good idea of what Jokic is at this point in his career. A complete megastar who stands head and shoulders above his peers. The level of skill, the soft touch, the ball handling, and the ball passing immediately struck me. Michael Malone, the coach of the Nuggets, described him as a man who practices his profession. He's not just a man who does it when he turns up. I don't believe there is enough documentation of the amount of time he devotes to his game. Although he is 28 years old and his career is far from settled, his position in history is certain. What Jokic can eventually become is still difficult to comprehend after the Nuggets had an unexpected run in the finals. Losing just 4 games, never trailing in a series, forcing a potential super team to rebuild, and forcing LeBron James to consider retirement, despite his lack of athleticism. The 7-footer uses both his body and mind to smash opponents into the ground. Almost every time the ball leaves his fingertips, he creates an efficient look by shoot or pass and goes wherever he wants, whenever he wants. During the regular season, Denver scored an incredible 124.2 points per 100 possessions with him on the court. They were still scoring 120.2 points per 100 possessions when he was on the court throughout the postseason. Both exhibit unconsciously efficient behavior. Jokic led all the players in assists, rebounds, and points throughout the 2023 postseason, an unprecedented feat. He also made a good majority of his shots. A player with a true shooting percentage above 60 has never finished a playoff season, averaging at least 30 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. Jokic passed all the tests with ease. This run was historic. After Game 5, Michael Porter Jr. remarked, "I don't know how you can say he's not the best big man ever. He's among the greatest basketball players of all time. It doesn't matter what people think. In my opinion, he's among the greatest players that have ever played this game." Jubal and Calvin both expressed the same message in Denver's victorious post-game dressing room. The Nuggets general manager, drenched from head to toe, paused to consider what he had just witnessed his franchise center do over the previous 5 months as champagne flowed down from the ceiling. Jokic was so concentrated and locked in. Booth told the Ringer, "I think everyone realized that we had an opportunity to do something special, and he led the charge. At only 28, he remains one of the greatest players of all time. There is still so much to do." With his 31.5 PER in these playoffs, Jokic is tied for the 6th best performance in NBA history, with only LeBron and Michael Jordan being higher. His lifetime playoff percentage of 29.1 is the highest ever, hands down. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and found it entertaining, then don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more. Until next time, see you all.